Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author of Epic Fantasy Romance. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Delicious. Today is Monday, May 22nd. May flying by. I'm just here for a couple of days this week, and then I'm off to Wisconsin. So, no podcast Friday or Monday. Might have caught the hummingbird in the background there. If you're not on video, you might hear that I am out here in the grape arbor. It is a lovely, lovely morning. It is sunny and clear. It rained all weekend. It's been such a cold and chilly spring. It's just unreal. Also, I think I didn't show you all my new mug, which is Gruet all day for the Santa Fe winery. Gruet. Um, my mug is not full of Gruet. I'll give you receipts there. It's definitely full of coffee. Alas. But my good friend Megan Mulry bought it for me, and which was very sweet of her, wasn't it? So, yeah, starting to get the garden going. Won't help that I'll be gone, but gradually putting things together. I did buy some impatiens that are just sitting in the pots. I might get them planted before I go, but we'll see. Yeah, so still working on Onira. A few of you asked me what I was saying. I did try to put it in the transcript, but it's Onira, Oneira. And yeah, it's the new shiny. It's the totally new thing that I'm not supposed to be working on, but I'm working on anyway. But I've shown the opening lines to a few friends, and everybody is like, "Oh." So who knows? It's a very different thing. It's Yeah, I don't mind talking about this part. It is inspired in part by The Forgotten Beasts of Eld. And I was having, by Patricia McKillop, one of my all time favorites, My Lord of the Rings. And I was having a conversation with my good friend Jim Sorensen last week at Writer Coffee and saying that I've never written anything like this that is so directly inspired, that is so much um, an, an homage. And Jim was pointing out that there's nothing wrong with having a conversation, writing a book that is a conversation with another book, which I thought was a beautiful way to put it. That's exactly what I'm doing, having that conversation. Um, that's part of where the artistic creativity comes in, right? Where we are inspired to write certain things, and that won't leave us alone sometimes. It's kind of the difference between I don't know, the hacks and the real storytellers. I think this is something that the hacks out there can't understand. The widget makers, the wannabes. Um, and there's been so much conversation the last few days about artificial intelligence and writing tools. Uh, it's been over the last few months, but it really hit a peak in the last few days, especially within the community here, within the SIFWA community, because Sudo writes, a company, SUDO writes, announced that they have created a tool which will enable authors to write their novels, where you input your plot and your characters, and it like writes your novel for you. And there's been a lot of very clever commentary about it, where people are like, well, you know, how about we come up with an AI to do the one part that you actually enjoy about writing? Somebody else said, if you'd write a synopsis for me from my novel, then, you might have me on board. And I have a couple of friends. I have one friend who is a more tech bro type who likes to tease me about the AI stuff. And and of course people ask me about it all the time. What's my opinion? I think that, and I've said it on this podcast before, that we just that's not what storytelling is about. Oh, I hear a kitty outside the garden walls, but he can he can come find me if he wants to. Um, it's not only the part of the story that we enjoy; it's the part that I do believe is comes from our basic humanity, that comes from the artistry within us. Uh, you could, I suppose, input the Forgotten Beasts of Eld into a an AI, an algorithm. It's probably been done, and it could spit out something that was a facsimile, um, a bastardization of it. I think that there are some writers out there, some of the wizard widget makers, who do exactly that. They simply copy other work and reproduce it because they're not capable of doing more, or maybe they just don't care enough. But it's different when you're having a conversation with the work and you're bringing to it your own everything, right? Your own artistic sensibility, um, your own creative spark. So this is why I really don't worry about this stuff too much. I think that people who are really worried about losing, I don't know, losing themselves, losing the race to the computers. Um, yeah, I'm just not too concerned. I think it's displacement activity. So I saw someone commenting on the SIFWA forums not long ago, and let me find it because I did make a note of it. Oh, I didn't make a very good note about it. Um, this person has complained about various books on Amazon before, like about the wrong books getting into categories, the wrong books. Um, he had complained before about why are there so many man chest books in Amazon in certain categories. People are like, you know what? Still counts as fantasy, even as a man chest on the cover. Uh, and I can't recall what his latest complaint about was about, but he was complaining about why were certain other books popular when they shouldn't be, that they, um, you know, failed to meet some criterion or another. And the thing is I think that's all just displacement activity. It's you know creatives or writers or wannabe writers maybe spend a lot of time doing everything but writing, and that's because writing is difficult and it demands a lot of you. But worrying about what other people are doing, worrying about what other books are doing well, worrying about AI, all of that stuff is just displacement activity, folks. It's um it's not paying attention to the one thing that you can control in this world, which is the words you write. It is, kind of shaking your tiny fist at the universe. And okay, so maybe there will be some AI stories out there. Maybe there are some novelists who will cheat and attempt to use this tool to, um, I don't know, plot their story for them. As you all know, at this point, I am not a pre-plotter. I wouldn't have a plot to feed into the computer. I have no idea where this book that I'm writing is going. And that's part of the joy of writing it, right? It's part of the misery, but it's also part of the joy. Uh, yeah. So I, that's my whole take is don't worry. Uh, people want us to make statements. A lot of the magazines I saw, Uncanny magazine came out and said that they will not accept any work with AI tools used. Um, well, I think it's an evolving situation. We'll see how it goes, right? I don't intend to use any of it because it's not how I work. That's just not how I write. Uh, I often get asked what tools I use for writing, what software, and so forth. And I use Word. I use to write it, and I use Excel to track it. But I'm a purist, right? Gruy all day. It's interesting to see how the industry is moving, though. Um, I paused a moment there because I was trying to collect the thoughts that I was having on Friday, and I haven't been able to reassemble them entirely. But I have one friend who went out on, well, she had to give her option book to her publisher. She's done a number of books with this same publisher. She's done great. She's very successful. She has also started self-publishing her books, and she is making so much more money self-publishing that she really doesn't want to work with the traditional publisher anymore because they're not she's not making as much money on the traditionally published books as she is on her self-published books. So for example, she came out with a book recently that she told me it did very well. It did better than expected, but it made $40,000 in the first month, self-published. The option book that she gave to her publisher, they offered her an advance of $5,000 per book for 3 books, and she said no. And I don't know if they were surprised or not, but it's like the traditional publishing still buys into this fiction that self-published writers are only selling 100 books and not making any money. Now, I'm not making her money. I would like to make 40,000 in 1 month. That would be very helpful. But I've talked about, for example, Dark Wizard has is now my top earning book. Before that, it was The Mark of the Tala, which was traditionally published, and The Mark of the Tala has now been out for almost 10 years. Wouldn't it be nice if they did like a 10th anniversary repackaging, recover, put a better cover on it? I would love that. I'm never getting the rights back to those books because they sell too well. Those 5 books that I did with Kensington, the 312 Kingdoms books and the 2 Uncharted Realms books, uh, they continue to sell very nicely. But even after 10 years of very nice sales, uh, have not matched how well I have done with Dark Wizard uh, in, I think, 2 years. When did it come out? I had to reference my Excel spreadsheet. It was February of 2021. So it's been out for 2 years, which is amazing to me. Time flies, right? Uh, but still, it's continuing to earn well. It's my top earner at this point. And part of that is because I make better money self publishing. Now, obviously, I still want to do traditional publishing. I've got a book out on submission with traditional publishing right now. But it's just really difficult for writers to take offers seriously when they are so out of scale with how they are earning otherwise. It's yeah, I don't know how things are going to go. Maybe they are going to continue going exactly this way. So, hmm. It says it's failed to resume recording.